you realize that it's you reflecting back to you, the things that you need to do, then it's like, oh, so everything's gonna be like that. I get to respond and responsibility. I get to do all my things. You know, it's beautiful how it works out that way.
Go ahead, Joy.
No, I love that. And, you know, just kind of give you my thinking on it. What if anybody that watches this show knows that I like to compartmentalize things so that way I can hopefully help you to realize that you're stronger or you are more capable than you ever thought that you would be. And the funny part about when I think about when things fall apart, there's some stuff that we put a whole bunch of weight on, and then there's some things that we don't put a lot of weight on. And what I mean by that is that things fall apart every day. And a lot of those things that fall apart, we climb those mountains with ease. We don't even think twice about it. Oh, that's broke down. Let me just fix it. And then there are some things that come and then we look up and the mountain is too high. And then we say, you know what? I can't climb that mountain because everything is falling apart. And it's just funny that you have the capability to do something, but you didn't also have the capability not to do it. And that's how I kind of look at a lot of things in my life to remind myself that, well, if I've already exhibited this behavior, why can't I move this here? And I think that's a lot of times where we get lost when it comes to any kind of rebuilding. We start to forget how complex we are, or how capable we are. And then even to your point, and I loved your point about reflection. We were capable to build a mountain. You were capable to build a mountain. I'm capable to build a mountain. And I can make that mountain as high as I want to. And again, nobody's helping me build this mountain. It's just literally me over time saying, you know what? I didn't even see that peak. Oh, there's another peak that I got to go to. Oh my God, it's another peak. And then before you know it, you got all these little hills that you like, oh, I can just get over these. And then you got this one that you created that you can't even realize that you can start to take the top off a little by little, even if you can't knock it all off. And again, I'm just expressing my own opinion of how we compartmentalize things and give some things power and not the other. And it's just amazing dichotomy of how we think. But go ahead, Jay.
Yeah, and to that point, well, I kind of want to get clarification because you said you love to compartmentalize. Is that to help things? Is that like or is that unconscious that you don't mean to do it?
Well, it was in the beginning, because this is just the way of my life, right? In the beginning, it was how I purposely moved in order to remind myself that, hey, this is not hard. Again, you know, I had a friend who came to me one day and told me, she was like, well, I was talking to my significant other and they told me that I'm a great starter, but I'm not a great executor. And I said, well, I don't know if I understand the sentiment of what they're telling you. You have all of these great ideas that you haven't executed on, but let me compartmentalize this for you. Well, you've executed your day. You got up and you had a plan of things that you're going to do. It might not have been this great idea, but you literally executed today. And so when I'm thinking about compartmentalizing, I'm letting you see things that you actually do already, so that way you can translate them to the things that you can't. And that's how I operate. Right. I am an executor. I just haven't executed here. Right. You know what I mean? Right. But that's what I mean.
Right. Right. If I can say something, and this goes, you know, with the sobriety that I'm cheering on here. Yeah, so there was one guy yesterday that I spoke to, and he's early on in the recovery, and he was simply saying, like, he was going to try to do things, you know, because he's early on, right? And I said, if you can think of the energy that you put into doing all the things that you didn't want to be doing, like you were giving a whole lot of energy on just a spectrum that now you're going to shift, and you don't have to look at it as, so I have to go from this to this. You can just watch yourself slowly shift as you recognize what it is that you put less attention on here. Now you focus on something else, and it becomes a wheel. And then it's not so hard on us, and it's allowing ourselves to have grace as we move with this wheel, because the energy cannot be destroyed. We can only transfer it. So when there's parts of our lives that we're not giving it as much as we should, and we recognize that, but we're most of the time is being allotted somewhere else. That's and once we shift that energy in our thoughts, that flows beautifully.
I
So
love that you said that too about like.
Go ahead, Jay.
I love that you said that too about putting so much energy on either the things that you don't want or the things that you aren't doing. Like that's one of the most powerful things, because a lot of times you can get caught in conversations where people are pretty much playing who had it worse or what you don't like the most. There's a genre of music called blues, like, which is usually about like with down and out. And then I know it's transformed from there, but we don't always realize that. And it's good music, but it's kind of designed in such a way like to keep you down because you stay in that energy. And it's like we wonder why we are in the hypnotic rhythm of what we don't want, giving all this energy. But when you reapply that energy to something new, to what you do want, what you do like, what you do enjoy, it almost lifts you, like you were saying, to carry you over to the things that you really want to do.
right.
And I want to add this too, and again, this is just my perspective or the way that I see things, but the reality of it, again, for me, when I compartmentalize it, at any given moment, you can feel like this is the moment when things have fell apart. You don't have to be, you don't have to not be sober. You don't have to not have $1 million. You don't have to not. It's just there's always a point in your life where you look and say, this is not what I wanted it to be in this moment, like right now. And so like when you look at it like that, and then again you look at all the other moments in your life when you've decided, well, you know what, right now I want a soda, and so I feel like getting a soda is easy, so I just get up, get in my car, go to the store and grab me a soda from the store, right? It's simple as, and I programmed myself to think that that's easy. I've made myself think that that's easy because I have people that's around me that will want the same thing and be like, I just don't really feel like getting up and going right now. Or man, I'm gonna have to get some gas, or I'm gonna have. And so when I think about when things fall apart, there's a fork in the road for anybody at any given moment, and you have the option to look and say, like you were saying, Sarah, I want to say Sarah Smiled because it just makes me smile. But like you were saying, that you can just decide now, all the energy that I was going to put going left, I can just put going right. And let me just go right, because this is just a better feel for me in this moment. But go ahead.
Right now. And and sometimes we see that turn where we're about to skirt and change our whole life, a trajectory of our life. We saw it. We came around the bend a couple times. It's a roundabout. You can get off whenever you're ready. It doesn't have to all completely crumble. The complete crumble is all what you are perceiving it to be. So at any moment when you just decide, I'm not going to go to the store and get me a soda anymore, I'm not going to do it, I'm going to change the pattern, I'm going to rewrite whatever it is that's in my subconscious mind from the old things that I've been doing all this time. I'm just not going. No, I'm not. I'm going to say no to something else so I can say yes to myself. And
again, I'm going to say this because this is Detroit compartmentalizing. Every moment is a turning point in your life. Every moment, because every moment is leading to the next moment. I use soda jokingly just to kind of convey my point. But the reality of it is, I go get that soda, and I know that I'm trying to limit the amount of sugar that I'm drinking, but I went and got it anyway. And so now I'm going down the pathway of, well, it's just another soda. It's just another soda.
Right.
It's the same thing with today. I'm deciding in any given moment, you know what? I'm finna watch this TV show. And then when that show is over, I can decide whether I'm gonna watch another one or I'm not. And